Hello, family. Welcome to the Empress Speaks podcast. I'm your host, the Empress. May every word spoken today reach the hearts that are ready to awaken, transmute pain into purpose, and remember the power within. Ashe. Today, we're going to explore healing the matrilineal wounds, or healing the wounds passed from mother to daughter, or grandmother to mother to daughter to granddaughter. This podcast title is called Through Her Bloodline, Healing the Matrilineal Wounds. In this episode, we're going to explore the sacred journey of healing generational trauma passed down through the maternal line. Mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, all whose stories have shaped our souls. We'll discuss how emotional patterns, pain, and even spiritual gifts travel through the mother's bloodline, and how we can alchemize those inheritances into freedom, love, and wholeness. Take a deep breath and imagine the women who came before you. Your mother, her mother, and all the mothers before her. Today, we're going to honor their stories. We claim the thread of healing that connects us all. The concept of generational curses. Generational curses, we've all heard it before. I think we all pretty much can identify with it if you're on this channel. It is the result of repeating emotional, behavioral, or spiritual patterns, not punishments, but energetic imprints that need awareness. Perhaps I used to say my picker's messed up when it comes to relationships and marriages because I've been married and divorced twice. But I became aware that I was repeating a cycle from generation to generation of, choosing mates, karmic mates that were controlling, emotionally abusive, psychologically or financially abusive, and in some cases physically abusive. Not consciously aware of what was happening and how it was showing up in my life from generation to generation, what I had inherited. Generational curses explain how these patterns often manifest through emotional suppression, self-sacrifice, shame around your femininity, or cycles of silence. Many of you have been containers for your trauma and emotional suppression in your family. We're going to be learning how to transmute that trauma into something positive, radiant, healing, and supernatural. Supernaturally beautiful. Generational curses also discuss the intersection of spirituality, psychology, and epigenetics. How trauma can literally shape DNA expression. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but trauma can be passed on from gene to gene, and that's the study of epigenetics. We carry our mother's pain until we decide to transform it. And that's what we're moving into, our segment of spiritual transformation, spiritual transmutation. Welcome, beautiful souls, to spiritual alchemy, where transformation, transmutation meets truth. Today we're going to step into a sacred, vulnerable place, one that many of us feel like we rarely can speak about, the healing of our matrilineal lineage. Today we're going to honor the mothers, we remember that healing doesn't just belong to us. It ripples backwards and forward through time. And we don't have a patent on our pain. We experience it in the now, but we understand how we have the power to transmute and transform that. Why does the mother line matter? Why is it so important that we're talking about the matrilineal line? It's because our mother's line is the first energy we ever know. Her heartbeat was our first drum. Her emotions, her fears, her dreams all flowed through the same blood that formed us, that created us. Every one of us begins in the womb of a woman who was herself once a child in another woman's womb. 3 generations can share space in a single body: your grandmother, your mother, and you. When your grandmother was pregnant with your mother, you were already a tiny egg inside your mother's developing body. So the energy of our grandmothers literally lives within us, whether they've passed on or are still here with us today. Think about that. That in and of itself is very powerful. Many of us have inherited unspoken grief, the words our mothers could never say, the dreams they set aside to just survive, the strength that carried them through and sometimes hardened them. I want to share a personal reflection with you. My beautiful grandmother, who's still with us here today, she is suffering from ALS with a diagnosis from 3 years ago. And if any of you know anything about ALS, you know how debilitating that disease can be. My grandmother was born in the 30s in Montgomery, Alabama, during the Jim Crow era. At that time, women of that generation had large families, and when they married, they stayed married forever. And they married really to grow the family and to create a sense of stability and security. And that's exactly what my grandmother did. Maybe that marriage wasn't perfect. I'm sure that it wasn't. I hear that it wasn't. But she birthed 9 amazing souls in that union. And she, like many of her sisters and others of that generation, set a strong foundation of healing and security and survival through the sand and dirt of Alabama. She was the roots with her Taurus energy. She planted and instilled security, having enough to get by, trying to acquire more than enough to just get by and to be living. That's what she instilled. And oftentimes in that manner, emotional nurturing was often sacrificed. My mother was one of 2 daughters of my grandmother's 9 children. She was second oldest and carried a lot of the burden to help care for her younger siblings in a time in which security and survival was a priority. She made many sacrifices, some that I will never know about, some that I'm aware of. I often wonder what emotions or behaviors have been repeated through my family's women, your family's women. What might still be asking for love, forgiveness, release, or recognition? Do you see me? Do you see my struggle? Do you see that I want to be loved? Do you see that I am even destroying or hurting myself? to keep things together, to hold it together? Do you see that I am a container for trauma, and I don't yet have the skills or know-how to transmute it? We all can relate, but we don't always have to relive and relive and relive the cycle of abuse and generational curses. We can become aware and liberate ourselves. Signs of the maternal wounds. You might be carrying a maternal wound if you notice patterns like struggling with self-worth or overgiving, over-caregiving, over-caretaking, fear of softness or vulnerability. They call it hyper-independence these days. Feeling unseen or needing to earn love. Emotional caretaking, mothering everyone but yourself. Or shame around your femininity, your womanhood, your sensuality, or emotion. Family, these wounds don't mean that we're broken. They mean we're being called home to the parts of us that need healing and that need light. Healing the mother line isn't about blame. It's about liberation. And here are some ways that we can begin today. Create a sacred space or altar in your home or in your bedroom or in your she shed or wherever. Place a candle. A photo of your mother line, could be your mom and grandmother or just your mother or your sister or an auntie or whomever in your family line that you are close to that had a part in your upbringing. Each time you light that candle, say, through me, our lineage is healed. You can also write letters to your ancestors. Speak what was never spoken. Tell them what hurt you and what you now understand and forgive. And of course, burn those letters or bury them as a ritual of release. You can also work somatically. Your body is the archive of your ancestry. Through breath work, yoga, dance, or any womb-centered practices, move that energy that's been stagnant for generations. You can also affirm and rewrite the story. Try this affirmation. I am the bridge between pain and freedom. The love that was missing then flows through me now. I am healed. I am whole. I am transmutated. And the last method would be seek witnessing. Sometimes we need another woman to hold space. A therapist, a healer, a spiritual counselor, a psychic, a tarot reader, or even a circle of sisters. Healing the mother line is never meant to be done in isolation. It's meant to be witnessed, just like the stories we're reclaiming and retelling and rewriting. Let's close with a short visualization. If it's safe to do so now, I'd like for you, family, to close your eyes. See yourself standing in a circle of light. Behind you are your mother, her mother's mother, a long line of women stretching back through time. Some are smiling, some are weary, some still carry pain. Now imagine that from your heart, a golden light begins to flow back through the line, reaching all the way, touching gently woman to woman, healing, soothing, freeing. And you whisper to them, you are seen, you are forgiven, you are free. And you feel them whisper back, so are you. Know that through your healing, they too are healed. I want to thank you for joining me today on this episode of Spiritual Alchemy. May this conversation inspire you to honor your mother line, not just for what they endured, but for what they made possible through you. Until next time, remember, you are the medicine your ancestors prayed for. Ashe.